This is a very ugly one, people. Um, Allegedly for this whole piece, because when accusations come out that's this nasty, they kill your character, your credibility, your respect as a man in front of a lot of people. Your business gets crushed as well. We'll see some of that in this segment. But let's get some backstory for anybody that's missed why Patrick Beverley was recently arrested.
For something that allegedly happened with his teenage sister. Lucas, this is a story obviously that we broke, I think it was Friday. We knew that Patrick had been arrested, but we did not have a lot of the details until a little bit earlier today. Now this story has become much more clear, and we now understand, I think, what allegedly happened. Now he's saying he's telling a different story, but this is some scary stuff if you listen to what his sister claims happened.
Right. We got the probable cause affidavit early Tuesday morning, which laid it out from his 15-year-old sister's point of view. Now, she says that early Friday morning, she left her mom's house in the middle of the night to go to a nearby park to meet up with her boyfriend.
Okay, so Thursday night into Friday morning, right?
Right. Yeah. When she returned home, her mom was awake, and she said, look, call your boyfriend, bring him back. I'll bring him into my home. And as that's happening, she calls Patrick Beverley to come over and address the situation.
Okay.
And Patrick Beverley was not happy, according to the sister.
Right.
Now, she says that he was upset.
Understandably.
She said that he was saying how she would ruin her life or things like that. And at one point, she claims that he put his both hands around her neck and squeezed until she couldn't breathe and she was feeling pain. And then he lifted her up to where her feet were dangling off the floor. It does not end there, though. She claims that he took her into another room by the throat and pushed her up against a wall, laid her onto a bed, and punched her in the left eye. Patrick then...
Did they call police?
Not yet. Patrick says that he followed the boyfriend because, mind you, the boyfriend was allegedly on scene for all of this to witness what allegedly happened. When the boyfriend tried to leave, Patrick followed him out, but the boyfriend ultimately decided to call cops for assistance. Now, Patrick went back in, and at some point in the night, his sister claims that he said, "I will be the relative to kill you." So once cops arrived at the scene, they looked at the alleged victim and noticed markings on her neck, as well as some red spots in her eye that she claims that Patrick punched her in, and said, "You're coming with us, and we are booking you for felony assault."
Wow. And
that's people why I say very, very nasty allegation and charges. If your sister co-signs the whole story, if your sister upholds these charges on you, if you end up in trial and your sister, testifies against you, or it's the boyfriend that called the cops, they're saying, in any event, that would add a lot of weight to it because that's your whole relative, right? I want to assume he's been very supportive of his family because they reached out to him or he shows up for a supposed problem. Right. So that sounds like a brother that's active in his sister's life, which is dope. Big brother, protect your sister. When I say big brother, protect your sister, here's the only bail that you can throw Patrick Beverley. And I don't say that. I'm not saying that in a metaphor when I say bail. I think he's already bonded out. Here's the only out you could throw Patrick Beverley with no justification to beating on your little sister like that, allegedly. But here's the bail. Older brothers, men of women in their family, that it is a big trigger. Okay. You can have a man that is harmless to the world, but do something to his mother or do something to his sister, and he might flip a switch. Okay. You could even have a womanizing man, right? A man that's out there taking down every woman in the world. He could be on his Stephen Diggs shit, got allegedly 4 or 5 women pregnant at the same time and shit, right? But let him find out that his sister is like even getting cheated on. He wants the boyfriend's head. That's how men and sometimes older brothers are, right? So when I say the only bail to throw him, maybe he had one of those switches that really a lot of brothers get flipped for. And maybe he had one of those moments of rage. The thing is, it's never going to excuse grabbing this little girl by her throat, lifting her up off of her feet, choking her with two hands, throwing her on the bed, and then punching her in her face, allegedly. You guys want a harsh reality. You guys want a sorry it's true. It's a lot of bigger brothers that done got mad at their sister maybe doing some shit and slapped their sister or some shit. Sorry it's true. Here's one for you, since I'm the reference king. Do I have it down here? Do I have one of those posters down here? No, I don't. Anybody know New Jersey Drive? The classic movie New Jersey Drive? So the main character and his ex-friend, that the one that ended up shooting at him, how did they get into it? How did they get into it? He's moving around. He's in the streets. He's stealing cars. He's tearing shit up. He's getting in trouble with the law. He's running from the cops. He's breaking the laws. He's doing all types of shit, right? But when he caught his sister on the block amongst all the niggas that's out there doing dirt and stealing cars or whatever, he tripped. Snatched his sister. His man was like, yo, leave her alone. And then they end up fighting. His man comes back and shot at him. Am I the reference king? Am I? I might be. No, but real shit. Now, they ain't showing the scene him picking up by a throat and punching in the face. I'm just trying to tell y'all, like art depicts reality, and it really happens in these situations. Big brothers, they lose their fucking minds about their sisters. And these big brothers, sometimes they'll slap them, whatever. And I think there's even the big brothers. No justification am I doing, people. I'm just in sorry it's true mode. I even think there's situations, I know. There's situations where the big brother ends up filling the father's shoes. I'm not hearing nothing about a father in this situation. Where's the father? He might not be around. He might be gone. You know, big brother ends up being the pops, the protector, the whole like, no, you ain't doing that. You going to school, or nah, you ain't hanging out with them, or get off the block, or you supposed to still be a virgin. You got nerve even being outside with some boy at this time. That's how big brothers be. But Pat, the reason why you gonna fall short regardless is you got to keep up with me, love. You got to keep up with me, Sandy. You got to keep up with me. And I was actually about to say it. The reason why he's always gonna fall short. Watch this. You didn't even let me land this plane right here. It's a girl. It's a girl. It's a girl. Some people would damn near feel better if it was a little teenage boy, little 16-year-old. You picked him up, threw him on the bed, punched him in the face or whatever. A lot of people like, fuck it. Check your little brother. You know what I'm saying? It's a girl. It's a girl, B. And no matter how much an older brother can be enraged, whether you're playing the father figure or the bigger brother role or not, you have to control that. You know, I probably would looked at him like, yeah, you fucked up, and you had one of those raged out moments. If he would have came home, tore shit, what the fuck are you doing with this boy? I'll get the fuck up out of here. Leave this house with her. Push the boyfriend out the crib. She gets pushed in the room or some shit like that. I feel like that shit happens every fucking day. But he allegedly, and then, yeah, it's too much. It's too much. Sandy, did I justify it, or am I in sorry it's true mode? Sandy, I'm gonna wait for you, Sandy, because I gotta respect my ladies in here. Sandy, are you with me? Did you catch my whole point on that? Queen is here. Queen says, my brother was never like that, but we were super cool, but he was a lot older. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Where's Sandy at? Sandy, are you here? Do you see the point? And if you have a difference of the take, I'll bring it up on screen and I'll further discuss for you. I got you. In the meantime, did I have another piece of this? Yeah. Sandy, I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. In the meantime, when I said it was affecting his money and his business, if he was in the NBA, he might be on suspension right now. But he's doing content. He's retired doing content now, right?
So where are we with Pat Bev right now? That's obviously the other big story. Yeah.
Yeah. No, obviously horrific police report. I don't, no matter how bad, whatever it is, I saw Roan's speech on it. I thought it was good. Like, that's his life. And he's got to figure all this out. It's horrible. He is taking time, forced time away from Barstool. And we'll see if this turns out somehow not true. Like, we'll let the facts play out. Certainly with what is hanging there, we can't have them be part of what we're doing right now, and we got to see how it settles. But this is horrible how it read, and if there's any truth to it, he won't be back at Barstool.
So where are we with Pat Bev right now? That's
Not
obviously other
great.
big story.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Not only is it just overall bad, like I said, people, but especially in today's society that is very, very reactive to this type of stuff. Yeah, no sponsor, no platform can have you sitting up there and they're gonna see you as beating up a little girl. She's related to you, but they're still gonna look at it like you beat up a little girl. You know what I mean? So I didn't see. Oh, here goes Sandy. I got you. Okay. Sandy says, I'm here. I get your angle, but we just need to land on however his psyche developed. It's 100% fucked up what he allegedly did. That's what I hate about this new layout. Hold on. Let me switch to this. Okay, there we go. I want you to see my face. My bad. Once again, for the people that joined late, if you notice a difference, the banner at the bottom of the screen, I took away to give us more real estate for how I expand some of the YouTube videos when we read paperwork and all that. Just give us more real estate. So that's gone now, people. So now, but I notice when I'm on a small screen and I bring up a comment, it covers me. So, all right. 100% agree with you, love. 1000%. The psyche that I was getting into was more so a sorry truth discussion point, not a justification. I just want to be very clear about that. And definitely an opportunity for women to know that that exists, not justifies it, but that exists 100%. It's not even just it's across the board for all women in your life as a man. You could be a womanizer, you could be a non-threat in society, you could never put your hands on anybody, but things that involve the mother, the sister, or the daughter, it's just a different arena. You could just be enraged, and he fucked up. He went too far. So I think his psyche was, and that's one thing that I said earlier. I said, I don't hear nothing about a father in this whole report. And he sounds like an active brother because he's off wherever he's at. He gets a call and he comes running. You see what I'm saying? But he came running and he just placed the energy poorly, badly, horribly, you know. But I'm pretty sure that boy was on that drive over there. You know, you're thinking about your sister in these situations and men lose it. It's not always going to be right. You know what this is also can be related to? The rapper's name, with all due respect and rest in peace, I think it's from Atlanta, that was killed recently, and the shooting was deemed self-defense. The son of somebody that's like on a talk show or whatever, I forget, Rashida's son, right? Allegedly, I still say allegedly, but that shooting that happened, what was that about? So allegedly, she's there and she's in this abusive relationship. And the only reason I'm going to say abusive relationship is because we saw footage of them fighting in a bedroom. I'm not saying it was from the same situation, the same night, but we saw footage of him moving on her, right? So they into whatever got going on allegedly, and here come the brothers or the friends, the male protectors, and somebody lost their life that night. Okay, so the same way I say, them fathers, them brothers, them uncles, them older cousins, the same way I reminded the chat, ladies, be careful when you make those calls. Remember when I said that? I said, be careful when you make those calls, because those men are in a different mode. We are very protective of the women in our life. And you ladies could get somebody killed like this, or get me put in jail like this, because it's my girl, it's my wife, it's my sister, it's my mother. We go for the women in our life, especially in our family. So be careful when you make those calls. And now I'm in this situation. Should I have shot the boyfriend? No. Maybe I should have faded him or something. but now I'm going through this because I came like that. Should I have came and lifted her up by her neck and punched her in the face? No, but that's the energy that came. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? There's consistency even to stories like that we've covered already. So thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it for even giving me the opportunity to think about flushing in more of the take and keeping it interesting. Oh, this is all 55th Street. Shout out to you, Tried in the building. Any other of my fellas or my ladies before I move on? Any other of my fellas, my ladies? Thank you, Jay. Queen says the mama should have just put him out. My mama would have handled that situation easy. Yeah, I haven't seen those details of what happened with the mom in that situation, but some moms will flip out in that too. They say y'all women could pick up cars when it's about y'all baby, right? That's what they say. Okay, cool. Shout out to all the fellas in the chat that understand that we got to be careful when I'm talking about. And shout out to all the ladies that either understand or are learning to like, yeah, you got to navigate that too around these men. Okay. But Pat,